back to CCRI Today, a show that takes a look at what's going on at the CCRI campuses, including news, current events, and sports. I'm Abby Stinnette with the CCRI channel. For our first episode of the spring semester, we'll be taking a closer look at campus activities at CCRI. Later in the show, we'll sit down with student engagement leaders Emma Montague and Christine Jenkins. First, we'll take a look at two stories produced by students in the television production course. Our crew visited the set of Assassins, a play produced by CCRI Players in March. Then, our reporters sat down with the staff of Career Services to talk about the upcoming job fair on April 3rd. Now, let's hear from our guests.
I am Luke Sutherland. I am a professor of theater. I also direct, and I do scenic design.
Hi, my name is Felix Burns, and I'm one of the prop masters of the show.
When I was in elementary school, we did a couple of plays. In third grade, we did The Odyssey, very short version. Seventh grade, I played Mr. Frank in The Diary of Anne Frank. And then when I was in high school, I joined a drama club that we had there.
I've done theater since I was a kid. It's something I've always loved to do. This show, it's a musical, so, there's going to be music, dancing, and I'm a history nerd, so I do like the fact that they stay pretty historically accurate, and just like the props, that's what we wanted to do. I'm normally on stage, so this is my first time really being part of tech, and it's a pretty cool experience. I think every actor should at least do tech once, because I didn't think I would like it, but here I am, and I do enjoy it. I jumped in it not really knowing much, but then making the props, obviously there was a lot of research, and it was just very fascinating to learn why the people did what they did.
It depends on what level, whether it's working professionally or collegiately. At the professional level, it's the challenge is how much. There's three things you work with. You work with what's budgeted to you. There's only so much time that you have. There's only so much money that you have, and there's only so much manpower that you can have, and you can't have all three. You can have usually two.
The hardest part was just kind of jumping in and not having really any knowledge, but I think that's also like the best way to learn, when you just get thrown into it. I think my favorite part about it is just you have a lot of creative liberty. Of course you have the director's vision. You really get to bring your vision to life in a way, and it's just really satisfying to see.
There are way too many. I've done a lot. I've been doing theater since, for 40 some odd years now, so I have a lot of good memories. To pick one thing, oof. I think, at least here at CCRI, and it can happen multiple times, is when I've been directing a show and I have students who come in and they're learning how to act and perform, and they're learning how to be technicians, is seeing the aha moment when they get it. That's probably a fun thing as being a person who's sharing the knowledge that I have of theater, seeing students going, and then, great, they got it, and then I don't have to worry, because my whole thing is they won't always have me or any of our other faculty and staff around to help them when they go out there in the real world. They need to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, protect their reputation. Got to know how to do what you do really well. You got to make sure you can meet the deadlines, and you got to make sure that you're not a jerk, because no one wants to work with a jerk.
I played Oscar in this beginning of the season's Let the Right One In, directed by Anthony Goes. And I would say that was my first acting role here, and let alone a lead. And I struggled with confidence a bit. Now a little better, still working on it for sure, but definitely was trying to overcome those insecurities and whatnot. And with that role itself, I was playing a 12-year-old boy. And I think the most challenging part was trying to keep that innocence of a 12-year-old, but also seeing these traumatic things, people dying in front of you. And I have a lot of traits of Oscar, so it was also separating myself from the character, but also keeping those similarities. Bloody fun. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. So
I guess the things that a lot of times I teach the students is, when you're doing theater, you got to remember what I call the 6 Ps. Prior planning prevents piss poor presentation. So if you're going to do something, plan ahead so it's less stressful. So if something goes awry, you might have the time to make the adjustment so that what you do it well. The 3 Ds are following direction. In this case, it's following the direction that the director of a script wants to go, following directions. Then the second one is details. You want to bring details to your work, whether you're a designer or an actor or a director. Anybody that works in theater, the breathing life is in the details. You don't want to have, if you're a performer or a director, you don't want the characters to be flat. You want them to be fully rounded. And sometimes the little details of knowing, building a character, things that maybe an audience might not necessarily be able to see or to observe, but the actor can then bring them out because it's the basis, the foundation of who their character is. And sometimes you have to fill in the givens that you might not get from a playwright script. And then the last of the D's is deadlines. You got to meet the deadlines. Opening night is your biggest deadline. If the critics and you didn't meet deadlines, the critics are going to know that the play's not really being well produced. So you got to work your way backwards as far as deadlines from your opening night, and then put all other deadlines in there. And something, making all the small deadlines allows you to meet with good quality work that big deadline of opening a show.
When I played Oscar, we had the KCACTF people come in to let us know who got nominated for the Irene Ryan, and I was fortunate enough to be one of them. It's like all that hard work, going over all those humps of insecurities all paid off. And we did the Irene Ryans, and I made it all the way to semifinals. It was just very reassuring to have that confidence, and also while we were at festival, just got to grow closer with everybody in the program. So the Irene Ryan Scholarship is, there'll be some judges that come on a random show night. They normally won't tell you what show they're coming to. And based on your performance, if you do well enough, they'll come and nominate you to compete in festivals. So it's kind of like, if you ever played sports, it's kind of like the regionals, but for college theater kids kind of thing. We have to pick one monologue and a scene, and you only get like 4 minutes. If you make it all the way to the final round, you get to go to Washington, D.C. to compete for like a $5,000 scholarship. So it's a really good opportunity to network yourself and brand yourself and get connections from other people from different schools that you want to go to. This is something I could definitely add to my resume and portfolio, because not something I ever thought I would do, but it's definitely something to add to the toolbox.
As far as the advice to students, if you're going to do it, go for it. Do it all. Learn as much as about all the craft, because maybe if you're an actor, one actor that when I was working at one place professionally, he was a carpenter. This one guy was a carpenter, but it turned out they needed someone to fill a role, but he was more of an actor. So he left the carpentry part and joined up as an actor, and he was happy with that because he trained as an actor, not as a carpenter. But just by being able to do some carpentry work, it made him able to be at the right place at the right time to get another opportunity in acting instead.
I would say you gotta take rejection. You really do, because you're gonna get no's, but that should only push you to want to keep trying. Don't care what people think, don't care what they have to say. You know, if you're enjoying it, you do you, man, you know.
My name is Jetsabelle Mills, and I'm a Career Service Officer.
And I'm Sam Skarakis. I'm the Work-Based Learning Manager with Career Services.
Career Services is a key component in your entire educational career. It helps you figure out what's the best major, transfer schools, different career options. It also helps you with resumes, cover letters, interview prep, and kind of everything else in between. So it's really important to be able to connect with us.
And we also know that students who have rich careerness experience in their college career have higher attainment rates, have higher graduation rates, and are more likely to secure higher paying jobs after graduation. And so we take that seriously. And another part of what we do, in addition to what Jets has said, is we make sure we bring industry partner volunteers into the classroom. So students, regardless of what's on their plate, we have students with very full plates, are able to have resume building experiences just by going to certain courses.
They can reach out from the very beginning if they're unsure of a major, if they're unsure of a career choice, if they're unsure of a transfer plan or what they want to really do. They can reach out to us, or they can reach out. I always recommend at least by the second semester, so we could start working on internships and resumes and cover letters and just getting those skills built.
We know how important it is for everyone, especially our students, to know what their degree means when it comes to job opportunities, when it comes to career paths, as well as average salaries. And so if you're curious about how your certificate, how your associate's degree kind of looks in the workforce, come to us and you'll be able to understand what those average salaries could be once you graduate, which is, again, why so many of our students are here, is to be able to have those family-sustaining wages.
So this is actually one of our Alumni Association events as well. It's a student and alumni job fair. It's April 3rd from 11 to 1 right here in the Warwick campus in the Great Hall.
And we have lots of employers coming, so I think, Jess, you know the number better than I do at this point, 65 plus. And those are all on our website, so if you're curious to do some research before coming down, you can do so. Related to an earlier question, like even if you're not actively looking for a job or an internship, it's a rich networking opportunity. So if you're curious about what types of jobs are available to you, if you want to find a career mentor, we still recommend that you come and see what's out there.
And these jobs are targeted towards our students, whether they have their associates or their certificate, or if they're looking for an internship. Be prepared as if you were going to go to an interview. You don't want to show up in scrubs. You don't want to show up in PJs, you know. You want to present yourself. You know, you got to remember that you're going to be selling yourself. As well as bring your resume. Bring plenty of copies of your resume. You don't know if maybe you'll land the job there.
And be ready to deliver your elevator pitch. So our industry partners, like Jets has said, are really excited to meet our students. That's why they're here. They want to bring CCRI students on board. And there will be hundreds of CCRI students there. So while all of our students are, of course, memorable, make sure that you are able to deliver the why me, why now, 1-minute elevator pitch every time you talk to someone. Another tip I give students is I'm sure many of our tables will have business cards or flyers. To help our students remember who they talk to, bring a pen, make a little note on each of the business cards that you take so that our students can follow up with each person they talk to continue the relationship after the career fair.
It is recommended that you register for the event. You can go right onto the CCRI website and in the magnifying glass type in career services. It'll bring you right to our page. You can register there. There are plenty of flyers all over campuses if you scan the QR code and register, or when you come in on that day, before you go to the tables, you'll be able to sign in. I would say to believe in yourself. When going to any career event, when doing anything career-wise, you got to remember you're not only selling that resume, but you're selling yourself. And just remember that a smile goes a long way. And when in doubt, schedule an appointment.
You deserve to be at every single table that you find yourself at. And we're here to support you, and we're excited to hopefully see you soon.
Watching the CCRI channel, news, sports, movies, and more from students at the Community College of Rhode Island. Watch now at ccri.edu/channel.
I'm Abby Stinnette, and I'm here with Emma Montague and Christine Jenkins, both from the Office of Student Engagement. Hi guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you do here at CCRI.
Go ahead. So I am the Associate Dean of Student Engagement, and we do everything from orientation to commencement. So we work with students to help them through their journey at CCRI, and we work with student groups on campus to put on campus activities, and hopefully give students a little more emphasis on their resume if they're transferring. So that gives you a little bit, but I'll let Emma fill in.
So Emma Montague, I'm the Dean of Student Engagement here at CCRI. I've been here for almost a year, and my role as part of the leadership team at CCRI is really to make sure that we are enhancing the student experience as much as possible. As Christine mentioned, we plan events, orientation, all the way through to commencement. So we have commencement coming up in a couple of months, but our role is really to serve the students to make their experience as good as possible.
Awesome, I love that. What activities can students participate in outside of class?
you want to talk about student groups?
So we have several student groups here that have activities anywhere from a musical group to a Bible study group, engineering. So students participate, and they don't necessarily have to be in that particular major to participate, but they can get involved. We also put on many events that students can get involved with. We hire students. I'll let you fill in here.
Yeah, so we oversee lots of leadership opportunities as well for students. So we oversee our student government. So 11 students are either elected or nominated to serve in leadership roles, really as a voice for all students. We have positions across the 4 campuses and an online rep. So yeah, student groups, student leadership, events outside of the classroom, working with the curriculum that students are learning inside the classroom.
So what are some of your goals for student engagement at CCRI?
So I think as well as continuing with all the programming we're already offering, expanding our off-campus trips is what we want to do next. It's been very popular at the local 4-year colleges to take students to explore not only Rhode Island, but the local amenities as well. So thinking about Boston for the day, New York for the day, maybe theater trips, really enhancing the student experience with things like that.
Oh, that's wonderful. What are even more events coming up, and how can students find out more?
So as part of Women's History Month, we're celebrating by screening the Barbie movie at all 4 campuses this Thursday. So you can catch a screening 9 a.m. or 1 p.m. on any of the 4 CCRI campuses. And then coming up on Friday, do you want to speak about the academy?
Sure, we're having a leadership academy, and we have Professor Dr. Eileen James, who will be leading the day for us. And hopefully, we're going to give students some additional skills that they may need in the leadership, whether it's networking, whether it's communication, public speaking. So we'll be going over that as well. And that's Friday at the night campus from 10 to 1.
And then coming up next month, we will be doing a big rehearsal for commencement. So April 15th on the night campus, 1 to 4. Any student getting ready to graduate can come. We'll do the processional. They'll get to hear all of the frequently asked questions about getting ready for the big day. Commencement being May 15th down at the AMP in Providence.
That's exciting. One more thing. What made you guys decide to take up the position in student engagement?
I think for me, I love people. I love to hear people's stories, and I love to watch someone grow from, you know, someone that might not have been involved in anything to become a leader with a student group or just a leader at the college. And it's just so interesting to watch people and be able to support them.
For me, as well as just seeing students grow, like what a fun job. Like our work is so varied. So yesterday we were on stage in the Great Hall hosting a leadership panel. Today I was interviewing students to be the speaker for commencement. It's a super varied job, and now we're here in a TV studio. So I think it's enjoyable, but also really meaningful and worthwhile to see the students just fulfill their experience as well.
Yeah, and I can imagine many students are very appreciative of your support. But thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for watching another episode of CCRI Today. I'm Abby Stinnette with the CCRI channel. See you next time.